Well, hello everybody. Uh, so this time we're going to do a sort of a play and academic analysis of Deus Ex Human Revolution. This is on the PC. Um, Now, I already played through the first chapter of this just to get a feel for the game, just so you know, but I haven't played through the whole thing. But I also played the first game. This game is the third game in the franchise, as most people probably know. It's a prequel story to the first game that was Game of the Year for 1999. This game franchise is very famous because of its storytelling and world creation, and particularly the raising of various different social issues, ethical and moral issues, which actually is the focus of my academic study. I'm currently going for my PhD in technology with a focus on technology studies, which is a relatively new area of academic focus and is basically the analysis of how technology impacts society and society impacts technology in various ways. Like, you know, not only like how does a new technology or a system, and not just electronics and stuff like that, there's lots of other different types of technology. Almost anything is really a technology if you think about it. Even things like writing and the alphabet, you know. But, you know, part of it is how does, you know, technological innovation impact society and causes changes in society, but also the other way around, you know. So how does, you know, people or groups of people, individuals or groups of people, impact the design of technology and the development of new technologies and the you know, the demand for new innovations. So that's basically the field, and this game, you know, falls directly into that, particularly in the story and the world creation background of the game. So I'm not going to be playing this real like fast or anything because that really is not how the game is designed. I mean, a lot of times it's presented as an action game, but really it isn't. It's really intended to be something that you know, you read a lot and you listen to a lot of dialogue and conversations, and you're supposed to be thinking a lot, you know, examining the environment to learn about the world that's being presented. So, you know, that's really how I'm going to go out playing. Also, at least normally the way I play this type of game, or most games, I don't go like antisocial or anything. I try to play, you know, where my characters don't want to be hurt. They try to avoid damage, which means, you know, leads into like, you know, sort of safe gameplay, conservative gameplay. It's, you know, obviously in this kind of game, a stealth type of gameplay, avoiding conflict, not being abusive, that sort of thing. So that also tends to take longer. So this isn't going to be something that we just jump right into. Now, or go through quickly, I should say. We will jump right into it. The other thing too, I gotta say, I had to back down the settings a bit, particularly the resolution, because of the capturing that I'm doing. I tried it at max settings. It had too much hesitation. I still notice, I tested it in different settings, but, you know, it still looks pretty good and everything, but I had to back it down a little bit. And I'm still getting occasional stutters here and there, so if you see some, I apologize for that. But there's not much I can do, short of, you know, moving it way down, which is kind of beside the point. And this is a new system. It's it's a laptop, but it's a high-end Asus laptop with, you know, a 560M NVIDIA graphics chip in it, so 8 gigabytes of memory and all that. So anyway, you know, it's not that the system's weak or anything, let's put it that way. Another thing I'll point out is the save system in this game. There's already been complaints out on the forums, complaining about how they did the save system and the Steam Cloud and stuff like that. It's really weird. They don't even have an elite option, you know, so you can delete your old saves, or so you can manually back them up yourself. And I don't know if they're going to address that in the patch or not. people are pretty ticked off, especially like if the saves get corrupted, which happens like if a power spike or power outage happens. So that's a big issue right now that Eidos Montreal and Square Enix need to address. I'd say sooner than later, because they're losing customers already. But anyway, so let's see, what else do I want to mention? I think that's about it. I'm going to be taking it slow, like I said, so don't be expecting, that this is going to go really fast or that it's going to be really a lot of action, because that's not the point of doing this kind of playthrough. So I think that really I will go ahead and I'll go ahead and do the max difficulty. I was playing it through before on the normal, but we can go ahead and do it on the max. I'm playing stealthy anyway. Oh, I was also going to say I'm going to try to roleplay. I said I play like a law-abiding type person. So.
Is everything in place?
Almost.
What do you mean, almost?
I have spoken with Montreal. The broadcast satellites are ours when we need them. A few weeks of discomfort, and the public will be primed for our recall.
And the clinics?
We control their birth rate. They will do as we say.
I still think we should wait for the referendum.
We can't afford to wait. America's Science Board convenes next month.
But the mood among the delegates is shifting. I'm positive that given more time...
No. By going public with this discovery, Sarif is forcing our hand.
The world will not change overnight just because David Sarif wills it. Besides, we can do nothing until our biochip is ready.
I thought you said you were close.
Finding the correct nerve interface has proven more challenging than anticipated. Fortunately, thanks to David, I now know where to look.
And in Washington tonight, crowds continue to gather in front of the Capitol. Most are demanding that Congress severely restrict efforts to alter the human body's abilities. This in response to claims made by biotechnology expert David Sarif that his firm may have discovered a way to make human-controlled evolution available to all. Sarif Industries researchers are set to arrive in Washington tomorrow to defend their claim. But for tonight, this is Eliza Kassan reporting to you live from Vegas.
With all due respect, Major, I'll expect 2 security details waiting for us on the tarmac. No, we won't be going through the terminal. It's too exposed. Yes. I'm glad you understand. Good night, idiot.
Something wrong?
No, not for me it isn't. But you keep pulling on that necklace, Dr. Reed, and you're gonna break it. Come on, Meg. You've defended your research before.
That was different. Then it was all just theories. But this discovery, Adam, it's big. Kepler big. Rosetta Stone big.
So, what's the problem?
They'll want to know how I found it.
Megan, we're leaving for DC and... Adam, you're there. Good, good.
You need something, boss?
Yeah, I want to go over your security plans for Washington before we leave. You and your team ready to go, Megan?
Almost, David. We're just rechecking data.
Well, make it snappy. We have to actually be in Washington before you can dazzle all those federally appointed know-it-alls.
I hate it when he does that. Come on, I'll walk you part way.
Okay, so you can see that they definitely have had a prior relationship, but evidently are no longer, attached, so to speak. I will
David's
say
waiting,
too,
Adam. We
by
shouldn't
the
keep
way,
him.
that I happen to be in the Detroit metro area, or I've been in the Detroit metro area for a while. I'm not originally from there, but it's and some of us who are playing the game who have that experience. It's kind of interesting to see how it's presented, since it is very near future, the year 2027, not that far away. And with the automotive industry and some of the other things they put in here, it's not at all a far stretch, to see that this kind of thing could happen, because Detroit in specific and Michigan in general has been trying to attract more tech-oriented
Please,
type stuff.
Adam, I'm nervous enough.
There is a high-tech corridor in the Detroit metro area, mainly catering to the automotive industry and automation of factories, but that kind of can also fall into the lines of this kind of factory where you're making human augmentations. But anyway,
In a second.
I'll read some of the other stuff that's in here, just to make sure we have it, so everybody knows it. That will take some time, so bear with me.
And I thought women were the ones who kept men waiting.
Washington braces for historic augmentation hearings. Police are bracing for massive demonstrations tomorrow on the National Mall. Protesters led by the Humanity Front movement have been arriving by the busload to make their voices heard. At issue are claims of a major breakthrough in human augmentation research. The discovery made by Dr. Megan Reed and her team of researchers at
David's
Seraph
waiting,
Industries
Adam.
suggests that
shouldn't
the
keep
bond between human tissue and mechanical electrodes can be strengthened through adaptive DNA fusing. This development could eliminate the need for neuroplasticity, a highly expensive drug manufactured under an exclusive patent by the VeriSilife company. If these findings are confirmed, the discovery will greatly democratize mechanical augmentations by making them safer and far less costly.
Come on, Slowpoke.
Pro-human advocates want to ban the technology on moral and ethical grounds. Darrow may not attend Washington science hearings. Sources close to billionaire Hugh Darrow say that Panchaea, the Arctic installation designed to stem the advance of global warming, is nearing completion. Citing the need to oversee the project himself, Darrow is yet to confirm his attendance
Please,
at the National
Adam,
Science
nervous
Board
enough.
hearings in Washington, D.C. So that's quite interesting, of course. Also,
Wow, how long ago was this taken?
In grad school. Before I met you.
Back when you were hobnobbing with the rich and famous, I see. I wonder if Mr. Darrow remembers you.
God, I hope not.
so you know that this Hugh Darrow guy evidently knew Megan back when she was in grad school.
You know, you really should get in the habit of locking your computer, Meg.
I know. Frank gets on me about it too.
So this is from Cassandra Reed, which is Megan's mother, evidently. By the way, the emails don't show up as well when you're looking at the terminals, but they get downloaded automatically to your files, so you can review them at your leisure, which is also different than the first game, frankly. But call me, Megan, honey. Why aren't you picking up your phone? I've tried you at your house and at your office. I've probably left a million messages with that receptionist there. Cindy, is it? I'm really starting to get worried, hon. At least when you and Adam were together, I knew
We shouldn't keep him.
he'd make sure you eat every once in a while. I don't suppose you found some nice new man to keep you company, or are you still just burying yourself in work? Like mother, like daughter, I guess. Seriously, call me at the lab. I want to know you're okay. Mom. So, evidently her mother maybe also is part of a lab someplace. This is from your boss. And evidently Megan had originally emailed him and asked about, she says, David, I'm scared. What if they ask me where I got the first sample? What if they ask about patient X? I don't know how to answer that. And David's response was, I told you, Megan, those kinds of questions fall under a slew of legal protections. Proprietary information, patient confidentiality, you name it. Denzel and his legal team are going to be right there next to you, waiting to jump all over their asses and